What if Deku was a legendary Super Saiyan? Part 8. I know you guys probably still want me to do Part 4, what if Deku had Goku Black's powers, but I'm just going to finish this up, and what I'm thinking about doing is doing What If Deku Was a Villain, Part 1 tomorrow as my new What If. I'm not really sure yet. Please comment down below if you'd like to see What If Deku Was a Villain, because I do have a really good idea, I think, on what I could do with it. So let's get right into the video. So where I left off was Deku just killed Frieza, and Vegeta, Goku, and Deku did a Kamehameha wave, and Vegeta did a final flash or a Gallic gun to destroy the spirit bomb that Deku had created, because it would have collided with the Earth and destroyed it. So Goku ran over to Deku and asked him if he wanted to spar now that he's unlocked Super Saiyan Blue. And Deku's like, yeah, sure. And then it instantly hits him, and he flies right back to UA. And he yells, "Where's Uraraka? Where's Uraraka?" And they're like, "You don't remember, do you? That guy you called Frieza killed her." And Deku's just, the look of shock and anger in his eyes just completely takes over, and he goes Super Saiyan Blue and just says, "No! How could I let this happen? I'm supposed to protect you guys, not let any of you guys get killed. Why?" And he's just like super pissed, super mad. And like everyone's like crying, and like Deku's just like completely crying, like, "Damn it! Why couldn't I save her?" And like all of Class 1A is just crying, like, "Damn it, why couldn't we do anything?" And Deku's like, "It's not your fault, it's mine." And like they're all just sad and stuff. And then Goku comes over and says, "I have an idea, but you're going to have to leave this universe for a couple months to get your friend back alive." And Deku's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, you'll see." So Goku basically, or Vegeta basically goes to the richest person in the world and asks them to create them a spaceship, and they're like, "And why?" And like everyone was watching the fight with how Deku did, and then he just moves aside and shows them Deku, and they said, "We need it to revive a girl." And they're like, "What? What do you mean? Just give us the money to build a spaceship, then you'll see." So they basically go all looking for planet Namek in Universe 1. They end up finding it, so they go inside of it, or they go in it, or on it, and they find a Dragon Clan warrior, or whatever, and they basically ask them to come with us to become the guardian of Earth and stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." Because they can sense ki a little bit, I'd say. So they're like, "Geez, these guys are really powerful," because they are way weaker than the planet Namek in the Universe 7. So he comes with them. I'm gonna call him. Who should I call it? I'm just gonna say Kami. It's not really Kami. I'm just gonna say Kami though. So Kami comes, and he makes the Dragon Balls, and they're scattered around the Earth, and they're usable right away. So Deku, Goku, and Vegeta just split up and looking for them, because they don't have a Dragon Ball radar like they do in the main series, because they didn't bother to bring it because they didn't know they'd need it. So they're just like running around looking for Dragon Balls, and like there's been reports that two weird yellow mysterious like things were found with stars on them, and Deku, Vegeta, and Goku instantly realize those are Dragon Balls and they need to go get them. So they go to each of the people and ask for them, and they're like, "Why? Isn't this such luck?" And then Deku's like, "Please, I need it to save my friend." And they're just like, fine, okay, but like they actually make them do stuff like chores and stuff, which like Deku, Goku, and Vegeta aren't really proud of, mostly Vegeta. But they end up getting it, and they actually end up with 6 Dragon Balls, and they're searching for the last one. Which the last one, I'm gonna say ends up with Uraraka's parents, and like they're so scared, like they're so sad that it's like been 2 months since their daughter had died, so they're just completely just sad, and I'm just gonna randomly say Uraraka's favorite number was 7, and they found this 7-star Dragon Ball sitting in their yard, and like they actually end up finding it. They end up finding it, and then there's a report on it, and they go there and ask for it, and they say no. It's the only thing we have left of Uraraka, as 7 was their favorite number, and this is a sign, and Deku's just like, please, we need this for your daughter. And they're just like, and Uraraka's parents just start crying, like, what do you mean? And Deku just yells at them to give it to them, and they say no. So Deku does the one thing he probably never could have done, but was practically forced to, and he steals it. And they make a report on this that Deku stole it, and like everyone's just like, stole it, what? Didn't he? And like they already knew that he had 6 of them, so they're like, why does he need another one? He already has 6. And like they're trying to go out and find Deku, and then they find Deku, and they're like, Deku, you have to give that Dragon Ball back. They don't know Dragon Ball. They don't call it a Dragon Ball. You have to give that ball back to Uraraka's parents. Please, Deku. It's the only thing they have of them. And Deku yells, no, I'm going to do something that they'll never get this thing back. And like all of them are just like sad because like they think Deku just got really messed up by Uraraka's death, when really actually also he pretty much did. And Goku tells Deku like the words to say Shenron, to summon Shenron, and he's like, oh mighty Shenron, I summon you. And he's like, I am Shenron, I have granted you, Izuku Midoriya, 3 wishes. What are those 3 wishes? And then he basically just says that he wishes that Uraraka was still alive, and then he said, is okay, that's done. Now what are your other 2 wishes? And like Deku's contemplating, like, what should I wish for? And then he says, I wish for Uraraka's parents to be rich. And he's like, done. And now he has only 1 wish. And I think it is, he's going to say, please use this wish for yourself. And Shenron's surprised at how nice and generous Deku is. And he's like, okay, thank you. And Shenron basically just uses it to make a house for himself, just right in the spiritual world. I think that's what it is. Like he makes this giant house that he can just float in and stuff, basically, I'm gonna say. So, we're going back to Uraraka's house, and they're walking home really sad that they just lost the Dragon Ball that reminded them of Uraraka, and then they just see a bunch of money on the table. They're like, what is this? We're rich now. And then there's a note on it saying, I'm sorry I took your prized possession, but this is what it got me. And it's just a bunch of money. And they're just like, why would he do this? And he's like, if you collect all, and then he explained, you collect all 7, you can make a wish from Shenron and stuff like that. And then they realize, wait, what if he wished for Uraraka to be back? And like they didn't bury Uraraka yet, so like she's still around. She's like, I'm not really knowing, but like, so she basically just wakes up in a hospital, and like Deku's right by her side and says, "Uraraka, you're okay," and he just starts crying, and he's like, and she just says, "Deku, what's wrong?" As she starts crying, and then Deku says, I thought I lost you forever," and Uraraka's just like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And then he says, "Do you remember the fight with Frieza that I had?" And she's like, "Yeah, only some of it." And then he tells her, "That's because he killed you." And Uraraka just practically faints. He's just like, "Killed me? But how am I still alive? Am I in heaven or something?" And then Deku's like, "No, I made a wish that you'd come back alive with the Dragon Balls from Shenron. So now you're back alive." And she jumps at Deku and just hugs him and says, "Thank you, Deku." And then he also says, "I made your parents rich so they don't have to worry about working anymore. So now you can become a hero just for your own dreams." And Uraraka smiles and thanks Deku. And he's like, no problem, Uraraka." And Deku's walking out of the hospital, and he sees Goku and Vegeta, and they're like, "How about a fight?" And then Goku and Vegeta get into a fight, like, "No, I challenged him first. No, I did." And then like they're just fighting, and then Deku says, "I want to fight Goku since he was my master." And Goku just laughs. Thanks, Deku. I need say I could fight." And then Vegeta just scoffs like, "Stupid kid." And then Midoriya or Zuko comes up with the idea, "Why don't you guys fuse?" And then Goku and Vegeta are like, "But wouldn't we be too powerful for you?" And like they're just like, "Oh yeah, remember what happened to Broly and how he was pretty much holding up a fight against both of us?" And like Deku's so much stronger than Broly, so he's like, "Oh come on, I can hold up to you guys." So they end up sparring, and it ends up in a tie. Deku's that strong, but only because he's had his emotions like twisted and stuff, and Uraraka's back alive. If that never happened, he'd be probably at Broly's level. So he could stand up to Goku and Vegeta, but like not with them fused. So like after that, he loses some of his power just because like he doesn't have all of the power back, but he still like actually has it with him. So he just thanks Goku and Vegeta for all they have done and helped him train and stuff. And he just thanks them as Whis appears and says, "Goku and Vegeta, are you guys ready to come back? I saw your fight with young Deku here. He's quite amazing." And then Deku's like, "Thanks, Whis." And he basically says, okay, Goku and Vegeta, are you guys ready to go?" And they say, "Yup." So they end up going back, and Goku's kind of crying, saying bye, because like that was probably going to be the last time he ever saw his master. But at least now he actually like, but now at least he pretty much fully knows, or well, now he's just thankful that Goku taught him and everything. He's just super thankful of that. So now he's going straight back to Uraraka in the hospital and asks, "When are you going to get discharged?" And she said, "Today, actually." And she actually gets discharged in like a minute from then. So she gets discharged and asks Deku to walk with her. And Deku's like, "Oh yeah, sure. Is there a reason?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing." And she's like really blushing. So then Deku is like walking by her side, and then she hugs Deku and asks, "Will you go out with me?" basically. And Deku's just like, and he's like kind of shocked but also really happy and says yes. So they end up going out and stuff, and like the next day they're holding hand going into class. Deku doesn't have to be there, but he still likes going to UA. He already passed it because all the teachers actually said he's already surpassed all of us and he saved the world. So they just immediately passed him and gave him the number one hero spot, basically. Because like he just kept going around destroying all the villains and stuff. and they're like, man, this kid's so good. They immediately passed him, and he already had his hero license, so he passed UA easily, and he just became the #1 hero within a month, because of how fast he was. Each day he'd be stopping 100 crimes and stuff, and he easily surpassed All Might. And everyone knew him as the the Saiyan hero, Deku, and like everyone knew he wasn't human and he was quirkless. So they basically looked up to him, and Uraraka and Deku ended up getting married and all that stuff. And that's where I'm actually gonna end this what if off, guys. If you guys want to see a what if part 10 of where Deku and Uraraka is after this, maybe 5 years in the future or something, just comment that down below, and I'll do that part 10, but it would be 5 minutes or something. So if you guys do want to see that, please tell me in the comments. And if you guys want to see what if Deku was a villain tomorrow, please comment saying you want that. So you guys, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more what if videos every single day. See ya, guys. Bye.